Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast for another segment of 20 Random Questions. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and today's guest is professional boxer Michael Gaxiola.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Thank you for having me on. Appreciate that. Big love.
How
Yep,
you
thank you.
doing? How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on, John. Appreciate it. I'm here
So,
to spill the truth.
you got
Get it.
anything going on right now in your career? You got a fight coming up or anything we need to talk about?
Um, Not really. I'm just training, getting back in shape. Today. I'm announcing today is my return to the sport of boxing. 100%, clearly, 100%. I'm 100% in the back to the sport of boxing today. I quit.
Okay.
I quit some stuff, and then yeah, we on. We ready.
So, what gym do you train out of, and where do you train out of?
I train at Bat to the Bones on 7th Street, located in Modesto, California.
Okay. Make sure we give them a shout out.
Yeah, Bat to the Bones. Shout out Bat to the Bones. Tony Avila, boxing trainer. You know what I mean? Yeah, so really good boxing teacher.
All right. So I know that you actually watch my podcast. So are you ready for these 20 random questions?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Okay. Question one. Tell me about your background and your upbringing a little bit. Not about the boxing stuff. I just want the fans to know where you were brought up, if you have any siblings, living
Okay.
with your parents, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I got you. Okay, pretty much everything I remember. From the gate. I was raised, my single mother. She raised me, my brother, and my sister. So three kids. When I remember, sometimes we would be in like hotels, but for the most part, we'd be staying at my grandma's house. So all the way up until sixth grade, we stayed at my grandma's house and like hotels and stuff. And then so yeah, we stayed at my grandma's house. It was probably like okay, it was my mom's kids, which is me and my two siblings, and then my tia Norma's kids, where she had six kids, and then my grandmother, and then her like oldest kids, like my uncle, my tío, my two tios, my tia. It's like that household was filled with a lot of people. I grew up with a lot. I'm talking about we had
Wow.
heads in there. Yeah, we had heads in the house, and then so sixth grade, moved to the. I say I grew up in the West Modesto. So sixth grade, I moved to the North Side Modesto, and I went to this elementary school called Fremont, and then so from there, yeah, that's pretty much, that's kind of how I grew up right there, sixth grade, and then okay, I'm in Fremont, and then let me see. We grew up pretty much like that. A lot of people in the house. Then my single mom, she finally got her own spot. I'm going to school. We go going to school. Grew up pretty much good. You know what I mean? I get
Okay.
into trouble here and there. Get in trouble. I got into trouble as a kid. Went to went to the bad place as a kid, and then then I got into boxing when I turned 17.
Okay. And let's get to that. Question two. How did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
Pretty much, I was always me and my brother would always Julian Martinez. We would always we had different last names because my brother has my dad's last name and I have my mother's last name, but we had the same mom and dad. But my brother Julian Martinez, we grew up watching WWE, right? So we would always do TLC matches. We was doing everything. The no holds barred matches. Like I remember my brother pinning me down and carving a tic tac toe in my head with the thumbtack. We did no holds barred matches. Like we was crazy like that. And then like when we found out that like yeah, wrestling's like fake, we was like we started figuring out the real stuff. We got into boxing and MMA. Started watching UFC and boxing. Really started out watching UFC because boxing was kind of like it was kind of boring to me back then, because I didn't understand it. And then so we was always in the streets like I literally had like 200 boxing matches on the street before I had an amateur fight. Like before I even stepped the foot in the boxing gym, I already had 200 boxing matches on the street. Like that's all we did. That's all me and my brother did was take gloves around. I mean, neighborhoods and box people. Box kids around the neighborhood, friends and stuff. Like even my closest friend, Stephen Unland, he was really, we was all into that. So we would always just tussle with each other and stuff. So, and then when I turned 17, I was getting out of the bad place that kids go to. And then I was at a continuation school where all the bad kids went. And then, so she's like, "Oh, what do you want? What do you guys want to do when you grow up?" And then I was like, "Oh, I like to fight. I want to box." So she looked up boxing gyms. Back to the Bones popped up. So I went over there when I was 17 years old, and I was only there for a month because that's all my mom could pay for. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I wasn't working then, so I was still like whatever. I was like still in the streets, and then my mom paid for a month, and I was there, And then when I turned 19, I went back to the gym because my father came back into my life. My dad came back into our lives. So I was like, when I turned 19, I went to Sacramento and stayed with my dad for like 2 weeks, and then he took me to a boxing gym out there called Dark Star. And I sparred the coach. I sparred their best fighter. You know what I mean? I sparred the best fighter. I sparred the coach. You know what I mean? And then, so when I came back to my dad, I was like, this is what I want to do. Well, I still didn't get back into it. I remember, like, it was 2 weeks after I turned 18. You know what I mean? A week after I turned 18, I got in trouble again. You know what I mean? I went to the bad place again. I got in trouble. So, 2 weeks after when I got out, I'm like, and I'm already 18 years old, and then so I'm like, man, I need to make a change. So that's when I went back to boxing. When I was 19, when I was 19, I went back to boxing. Like, what's up? You know what I mean? He was like, yeah. I was like, put me against your best fighter, watch me work. And then he put me in there with some kid, and 1 year later, after 19, 1 year later, a boxing turned 20 years old, I turned pro.
Okay. So you didn't
Yeah, so
even have a lot of amateur fights in.
no, I had seven. Yeah, seven amateur fights.
Okay. All
Four
right.
and three.
Question three. What boxers have inspired you in your career?
Boxers have inspired me. I like the fighters with heart. Like the Targatis, the Mickey Wars. Um, and I like charismatic fighters, like fighters with style, like Roy Jones Jr., Johnny Tapia, Prince Nassim, Hamed. Those are like my favorite fighters. Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, those are my favorite fighters. The guys who are charismatic and the guys with heart to fight their heart out, like Timothy Bradley, Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, one of my favorite too. You know, I got a
Is that
lot of favorite, but
is
I got
that
a lot of favorites, man.
is that do you think that you connect with those guys because you got a lot of heart? You're a fighter with heart.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what it is, I would say. And the
Okay.
charismatics part too. Like I'm really charismatic in the ring. People haven't seen it because um I haven't been able to, I haven't been able to discipline myself to the best of my abilities. But there's footage out there. I know there's footage on top rank shows, and so there's footage of me drawing lines in the middle of the ring, telling opponents cross it, opponents smacking them with three pieces, doing some charismatic stuff in the ring. But I don't know what the boxing world got some against me or something,
All
man.
right. Question four.
Yeah.
Do you have any hobbies outside the sport of boxing?
Hobbies outside of sport of boxing. Like I'm kind of like I'm not a writer because I don't write a lot, but I like to write. Like I do music a little bit. Like I'm a rapper. I'm a singer. No, I'm a little bit of I do a little bit of music. You know what I mean? I'm not a rapper, but I can rap. I call it real spill. I call it real
Okay.
spill. I don't call it rap.
So that's what you like to do outside the sport?
Yeah, and I like to encourage people. I get most of my. I like to encourage people. I like to be a helper. I like to help people and encourage people. That's kind of where I get most of my joy from.
Okay. All right. Question five. What advice do you give a kid that wants to become a boxer?
What advice do I give a kid that wants to become a boxer? Take it seriously. You gotta, you know what I mean? You can't take life for granted. You gotta, you know what I mean? Like, I used to think boxing was easy. I used to think boxing was easy, man. And now it's like, it's crazy. Yeah, but just, you gotta take boxing seriously. You can't take life for granted. You gotta be disciplined. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Question 6. What type of activity do you do that's therapeutic for you outside the sport of boxing?
What kind of activity do I do that's therapeutic for me? Well, shoot, I was. It's not. Man, I'm breaking off of a freaking addiction today. I was addicted to weed, man. It's a sad case to be addicted to weed, but like, I was really addicted to weed, and today's the day. Yeah, I'm back, you know. But yeah, I was really addicted to weed, and that was really, therapeutic for me, you know. But I want to quit it because it's been my master lately, so we can't have that.
Okay. All right. Question 7. What is something that your boxing fans don't know about you?
Boxing, what some of them my boxing fans don't know about me. There's not much, man, because I'm kind of horrible with social media, and a lot of my life is on there. They even they even see my freaking my shalong along, my thing, my freaking my DSCK. They seen that. My shit was on social media just a few days ago, bro, on Facebook. I was like, this is weird. Yeah, so there's not much that the boxing fans don't know about me, but I would say that um I was addicted to weed. That's something that they didn't know, I guess, because I would try to keep it secret. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Sometimes I would put it out there, but I was addicted to weed heavily for a long time,
All
and
right.
you know,
Question 8. Who is someone in your life that has inspired you outside the sport of boxing?
someone in my life that inspired me in the sport of boxing.
No, outside the sport of boxing.
Outside of sport, okay. There hasn't been a few, just bless out of my boxing coach, my boxing coach, my friend Larry, you know, was also like one of my clients and also my boss. Also, you know what I mean? Like, I got there's not much people outside of the sport of boxing that really inspire me, but I've had a lot of people that encourage me. That's been, I guess, that has been inspiration by like just talking to me and telling me to stay in the right path and stuff. Like, even by being in being in the bad place, you meet good people. There's a lot of good people everywhere. So being in the bad place, was good for me too. So, like, yeah.
Okay. All right. Question 9. What is the most dangerous thing you've ever done?
Most dangerous thing I've ever done. That's a tricky one because you can't really say I've done, but driving. I drive very carelessly. I guess I don't. I think I need a better. I just totaled my car yesterday. Not 2 days ago. That's like my 13th, 12th car that I totaled, and like literally just wasted a ton of money. Like, literally my 12th car, bro. I'm not lying. My 12th car that I've totaled, and I've almost lost my life. Like, so many times I've never felt like I've lost my life, but I've literally almost lost my life more than a handful of times.
Yeah, you need to start taking Uber, dude.
Yeah, something, something, man. It wasn't looking right. That's one of the reasons why I'm quitting smoking weed. Is
Okay.
because I was smoking weed when I crashed my car, and I
All
didn't
right.
look left. Like,
All right. Question 10. If you could be
but
any animal for one day, what animal would you want to be?
if I could be any animal for one day, what animal would I want to be? the one that's, it's gonna be obviously the one I relate to more is gonna be like something that's like a more natural animal, more of a leader, like a lion, an elephant, something that stay with the family. That's, you know what I mean. That's like lead, you know what I mean, like an elephant, a lion. I love tigers though. Tigers growing up were my favorite. Like I feel like I'm a lion and a tiger body. You know, 'Cause, yeah, I'm a,
Okay.
like a liger because I got the heart of a lion, but tigers, they by themselves. They're fierce. I'm like,
All right.
I'm a loner
Question
too. So I'm a tiger.
Question 11. What is your proudest moment out of your boxing career?
Proudest moment out of my boxing career, man. Like growing up, where I grew up, I never had um like I don't know. It's just weird. I guess I never like. It's sad to say, I guess, but I didn't have. My dream was to be a professional boxer. So when I became a professional boxer, and how easy it was for me to become a professional boxer, and I was 3-0, like sparring. Spending. I'm over here sparring Devin Haney, freaking Nondito Donaire, and Francis Bartholomew. I'm in Vegas, like I'm 3-0, and I was like, this is being a like it was easy. I felt like I mean, because it all happened in the year. Like I said, I started boxing at 19. I started at 17. I was only there for a month, so 19 is really when it took off. And so I only trained for a year, and then I went pro, and now I'm flying. Now I'm in Vegas, and I'm staying in a fighter house. And it's just like, oh, I felt like I was living a life right then and there, man, because I was like. And growing up where I grew up is like I didn't see much. I didn't have much. So I was like, I thought I was living the dream right then and there. I thought I was living the dream. I thought boxing was easy. I took life for granted. Started doing all kind of other stuff and just not being disciplined. You know what I mean? And it just kind of took over my boxing career. So I started out 3-0, man. Now I'm 4-36. That like I don't know. I mean, words can't
Yeah,
explain.
but you say, okay, you say you're 4-36, but I want to explain something to the fans because, first of all,
Yeah, it's a false.
you
That's a false. That's a false. It's
I
a
know that.
lie,
I
really.
know.
It's a lie.
Well, I mean, the record is the record, but what I
Yeah, and I
want to,
never been knocked out, and I ain't never been knocked out. All them the
but what I
stoppages.
want to exactly, but what I want to explain to the fans is sometimes people's records are deceiving
Yeah,
because
facts.
you're a better fighter than your record. You have more heart than your record shows.
Yeah,
Even though
yeah,
you have a lot of losses, you only have like a few knockouts, not
yeah, yeah.
technical knockouts, but I mean
I
you've been
never even been knocked out, bro. I
but you
never
know
been
that you
knocked.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
goes
Uh
on
huh.
your record as a knockout.
Yeah,
You only
yeah,
have
yeah,
like
yeah,
8 out of so many
yeah, yeah,
losses. So I
yeah,
mean it
yeah.
shows that you're a durable dude, you got heart, you can fight, things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes
100%.
people's records are deceiving. Like I'm going to give you a quote that Jesse James Leha said in my
Okay.
interview, and I think this actually fits you perfect. He
Uh
said,
huh.
the tough guys aren't the guys that are 17-0 and 20-0 that fight guys knowing
Yeah,
they're already going to go in the ring and beat the guy. The tough guys are the guys with the upside down records, the 5-5s, the 10-10s, or like your record. The guy
yeah,
that
yeah,
knows he's already probably expected to lose, or that he's going in there to be an opponent and he still gets in the ring. Those are
yeah.
the tough guys.
Yep. 100%.
So I
Yep.
mean, that's a definition of what you are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
100%. 100%. But the tough guys. You know what I mean? I got way more than just toughness. You know what I mean? I got smarts. I got skills. I got real skills. You know what I mean? Like, this tough guys get killed in the sport. You know what I mean? The tough guys get killed in the sport because they do what I do. Like, I had 11 fights in 2021. Fought nothing but the best fighters. I'm talking about going down the waterfall and fucking busting my knee, busting my really going down the waterfall. Me and my homie TJ went down the waterfall, almost lost our lives right there going down the waterfall. Like it's unheard of. We went down the waterfall thinking it was a damn water slide at Rainbow. It's called Rainbow Pools at Yosemite National Park or something like that. but it's a dangerous place to be. People lose their life there, and we really went down the waterfall. I landed on rocks. Landed on rocks. I fought a month, and like 4 days later, I fought Dominic Vale. A month, 4 days later, off of when I mean, I've been
So,
in car accidents. I've been in car accidents 3 days before fights. I've been, concussed 3 days before fights, going in a fight. Like, I can't get hit. I can't get hit, so I gotta try to box. So I'm over there trying to box like Bernard Hopkins, and then I get hit with a body shot. You know what I mean? But I didn't even get down. I didn't even get down. I didn't even go down. The dude stopped the fight. Like, I didn't even drop. How you gonna stop the fight? I didn't even drop. Like, you know what I mean?
so,
But
so let me ask you something then. Is it fair to say that your record is the way it is, not because of your skill, your lack of skills? You have skills, you have heart, you have
yeah,
smarts.
yeah,
It's because of the way you've chosen to live throughout your
yeah,
career.
yes. The way I've chosen to live is 100% why why my boxing record is the way it is. Like,
Okay.
the
All right.
boxing politics has somewhat of some to do with it, but nowhere near as much as the impact that I've done myself. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to question 12. If you were on death row, what would be your last meal to eat?
If I was on death row, it wouldn't be my last meal to eat. I would be fasting. I wouldn't be eating. I would be fasting.
Well,
I
yeah,
would be
but
fast.
let's just say you had to have a meal. What would you eat as your last meal?
Okay, okay, okay. If I could pick any meal, you saying I could pick any meal?
Yeah, it's your last meal. They're gonna let you eat whatever you want to eat.
Okay, probably a fruit, probably a peach,
That's it. That's all you
pro-
want.
probably a peach. I think that's it. That'd be it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Question 13. If you could go back in time to tell your younger self some advice, what age would you go back to and what would you tell yourself?
What age? Hmm. That's a rough one. Um, what age? No, I mean, I'm just telling myself now, never lose hope. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
get,
but
you
I'm
know what I
saying
mean?
if you
And
could,
now
yeah,
I
but if you could
keep
go
working.
back, yeah, but if you could go back to an earlier age and give yourself some
Okay.
advice that would possibly change the outcome of your life,
Yeah.
what age would you go back to?
Um, Probably when I was 3-0 or 2-0 on the plane and going to Vegas. You know, thinking that boxing was easy. I would have told myself, you're stupid. You gotta just keep doing what you're doing. Stay on the path. Don't get big headed. I got big headed. I got a big ego. You know what I mean? I was doing more than just boxing and making and going to Vegas. You know what I mean? And living my dream. I was also, I was also serving people. Like, I was also being a hustler. So I was like, I had a big ego. So
Okay.
yeah, I would tell myself, you're stupid.
All right. Question
Doing the wrong
14.
thing.
Question 14. Tell me an interesting story out of your boxing career.
um, Interesting story. Oh man, this one's gonna start some drama. Funny stories, interesting story. No, no, no. Interesting story of my boxing career. Uh, Interesting story out of my boxing career. Uh, I don't think I really have any because the only thing that's coming to mind is gonna be one that's gonna start drama, and I got my baby's mother in the other room that can hear me.
Yeah, we
So
might not
yeah,
want to tell that one.
yeah, exactly. So I say how I got my nickname. I guess it's kind of interesting. My smooth boxing name is from my boxing trainer. Like, was always at the fights, and every time I was at the fights, I always got caught talking to female, talking to a girl. So he one day, I'm coming back, I'm getting my hands wrapped, and he's like, "That's gonna be your nickname, Smooth," because like, I was always like talking to girls, smooth with the girls. No, no, I love ladies. You know what I mean? I feel like all women deserve love. All mothers deserve love. I mean, there's some, that are out there that are not doing the right thing, but you know what I mean. For the most part, all mothers deserve love, and you know what I mean, and yeah, stuff like that. So I don't
Okay.
know.
All right. Question 15. Why do you box?
Why do I box? Um, that's a tricky question. Why do I box? Now I think I'm addicted to it. First, it was just, you know what I mean? Well, I love it, I mean, I love boxing, that's why I do it. But I box too because to show people, you show the kids that it's possible. Because growing up where I'm from, where I'm at, there's a lot of kids out here that do not believe in themselves, you know what I mean? And like, it's just, it's kind of rough, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, there's not a lot of hope in this city. I'm gonna say it just like that, man. I mean, and my ego, the word hope, I'm using the word hope a couple times because my boxing trainer gave me, told me this one time. He said, "Never lose hope." And my ego took it the wrong way. My ego took it the wrong way when he told me that. But now it's like I understand it. So out here, a lot of these kids don't have hope and don't have self belief, don't have faith, don't well, because we're in this, you know what I mean? I don't know. A lot of us don't know. It's good to not know so much because that's the only way you can learn. You know what I mean? If you, the person who know it all, that's the dummy. That's the one who thinks they can't. You know what I mean? The one not learning, the one who know it all, is the one not learning. So that's, I mean,
Okay.
so
Question
yeah.
16. Who was the hardest puncher you've ever faced in the ring in a fight or sparring?
The hardest punch I ever faced in the ring. I'm gonna respond. Well, the hardest puncher I've ever sparred and box, I would say is Jose Iniguez. He's a local fighter from like where I'm from around. He's like from Lathrop or something though, or Stockton. He's like he was probably the hardest puncher I've ever seen, but that's not the hardest I've been hit. You know what I mean? That's not the hardest I've been hit, but I felt like every time he hit me, like he would hit my arm, my elbow, I block a punch. I could feel it like, oh damn, this guy, I mean, this guy hits hard. Like it would always wake me up. Like I mean, I would always, do good. I always be piecing his ass up. I'm always piecing his ass up and stuff. But like his power would just wake you up to where like you had to be on your p's and q's. You know what I mean? So it made sure I was on my p's and q's. So I would say Jose Iniguez. His name's Jose Iniguez, but I'm not sure if I'm saying the last name right. But the hardest I've been hit was by Donaire. So
Okay.
which I felt myself was a fairly, I felt like he was just starting training camp, so like I felt like it was pretty kind of easy. I was like when I was in there, was working. I mean, it felt kind of easy, but he hit me the hard, like he hit me with the left hook. Like I had him against the ropes, and he hit me with like counter left hook that had really had me seeing stars, like really had me daydreaming for a minute.
Okay. Question 17. Do you like to play chess?
Chess, I do like to play chess, but I don't play it a lot though, but I played it before. I played it a few times, actually, a handful. I like, what I mean. I try to play it a lot more. Like I was playing it a lot. Like there was a time in my life where I was playing it, like playing it
Well,
often.
because I've
But
seen some pictures on your social media that have to do with chess. And if anybody
uh,
can see the picture behind you on the wall,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
actually the king of a chess
yeah, yeah,
piece.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So,
yeah, 100%. No, I'm a big, what I mean. Boxing is chess. Life is chess. So you better make them right moves.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Question 18. How has boxing affected your life in a positive manner and in a negative manner?
Positive manner and negative manner. Boxing. Okay. Positively, it's opened a lot of doors. You know what I mean? It's opened a lot of doors. It's strengthened me inside and out. You know what I mean? You know, it's put a lot of tests to my faith. You know, like put a lot of it strengthened me inside and out. You know, it's like, you know, because I was a scared kid growing up. You know what I mean? Like I was always getting in trouble and stuff. Like I always hide stuff. You never know I'm scared, but real life, I'm a scary motherfucker. Know what I'm saying? But no, but you'll never know I'm scared. Know what I mean? Like growing up, I don't know. Like I don't know. I can't explain it.
So
Cause
yeah,
you'll never know. No
but
one would ever know.
it's so positively it's opened up doors for you and things like that and given you
Oh yeah, yeah.
opportunities.
Okay, yeah. Positively, it's open doors, strengthen me inside and out. Uh, negatively, boxing is I say it's hurt me from a mental standpoint because it's discouraged me in a lot of areas. You know, because people don't know the sport of boxing, and the outside viewer can like, you know what I mean. But like, but that's all like, you know what I mean. You gotta have a bulletproof mind. You know what I mean. You gotta follow your heart. In order to have a bulletproof mind, you gotta follow your heart. You can't let nothing infiltrate your mind. So
Okay.
yeah.
All
But
right. Question 19. What motivates you?
what motivates me? Just showing people it's possible. Showing people it's possible. You know, kind of just I don't know, kind of showing people it's possible, and people motivate me. You know what I mean? People motivate me, my kids, stuff like that. You know what I mean? People and yeah,
Okay. All right. Question 20. What's something that you're
like
very
materials
passionate?
don't motivate me.
Oh. All right. Question 20. What's something that you're very passionate about besides boxing?
Something, something I'm passionate besides boxing. Family. You know what I mean? Family first and foremost. Family, God. You know what I mean?
Okay.
God and family, and that's about it.
All right. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you taking time to come on and do the 20 random questions. If you got anything to say to your sponsors or your fans, go ahead.
Oh yeah, appreciate. I want to just thank you, John. Appreciate you, man. Really big love for that. You know what I mean? Thank you for having me on your platform. And I want to shout out Reich. You know what I mean? Reich fighting gear. We blowing up. You know what I mean? I'm the only distributor right now in the United States, but we got some all over the world. Reich fighting gear. You know, so stay tuned for that. Shout out Reich and you know, shout out my mother, and I love my mother to death. Love my grandmother, and I love the mother of my children too, no matter what. So I love my kids. You know me, Theodore, Genevieve, and then shout out all my family. You know what I mean? Big love. Thank you to all the fans. Big support. You guys keep a lookout for this Truth Boxing podcast. I've been tuned in now for like a few months now, and like you throwing on some good episodes, man. They're good. I mean, good guests. I like it. I like it. I like the 20 random questions. Very catchy. And then I want to also, y'all. I mean, if you guys want to follow the social media, you can. Smooth Boxing 209. Smooth with the V, not TH. So there it is.
All right. Hold on. And with that, the truth has spoken.